Yo, what's up everybody? This is Snackbox. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And guys, today I want to talk to you about my Hydra teams. I did something really crazy, I think a lot of other people did it too. Basically, I one-keyed Hydra Nightmare for the first time. And it was, as you can see, D-Spank from my clan did it too. Here it is. So this is what I did on Hydra Nightmare at this rotation number 2. I nuked the Hydra with Thunder. 35 million damage. What about that? So, yeah, all you need are 2 Yumikos. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, you can probably do it with Kaimar too. With Yumiko is just way easier because Yumiko resets the cooldowns of Yumiko. So you just keep refreshing all your cooldowns over and over again until you decapitate the heads, and then you just use A2 on a decapitated head and you got almost the damage for the max chest. So yeah, I pretty much cheesed Hydra Nightmare in this rotation. What you need is, of course, an Arbiter for attack up and determined boost, as well as revive and a little bit of heal when your champions drop below 50% HP. The attack up, I think it's the A2, will heal your champions. And you need a Gurptug for block debuffs, of course, and to boost your damage with the poisons. And Lydia provides Death Down and Weaken, of course, as well as Strengthen and a Speed buff, which also helps a lot to get to take more turns. Another good thing from Yumiko, besides that she's already insane because she resets the cooldowns, is the Hex debuff. Which you can use to reflect or change targets of the Fear debuff, which you get from the Head of Torment. It's not 100%, but it helps. So yeah, this is basically what I did. I haven't changed my Tranda at all. She's in Savage Cruel. That's my arena gear. My first Yumiko also in arena gear. My second Yumiko, I tried to get close to my first Yumiko. It's my Arbiter with my fastest speed gear. Gurptug with high accuracy, also an arena build, and Lydia, she's built for Hydra with like 500 resistance and 400 accuracy and like 260 speed. Yeah, and that's about it. So, and to be fair, this is the first time I one-keyed Hydra Nightmare, and I did it with this comp. So yeah, pretty amazing. I'm really happy about it. So what I did on Brutal, let me check this out. There we go. On Brutal, I used Duchess, Lead, Husk, Corona, Lady Kimi, Royal Guard, and Ugo. So Duchess is basically there for the whale buff, because as long as you keep the whale up, you won't get feared from the Head of Torment. That's basically her job, but she's built in arena gear. She's my only Duchess, and she's built in arena gear. She provides also attack up as well as block debuffs, which can be also very useful. But besides that, she can only revive, and that's it. She does a lot of things, but she's not that optimal for Hydra, but she definitely helps. Then we have Husk. Husk is like maybe one of the best damage dealers for Hydra in my opinion, because if there spawns ahead of DK, or if there's a head of DK from the start in the rotation, like Husk is so amazing. Because with his A1 he can provoke the head of DK. He does a lot of damage with his A2, and I've built him in Relentless with a little bit of self-heal with a one immortal set, a 2-piece, because I want him to get some extra turns, so if there's a head of DK, I have more chances to provoke him, because the provoke on his A1 is not 100%, but with the Relentless I kinda can improve the chances. So that's why I built him in Relentless. Then I used Corona. Corona was a long time. Corona was my first Void Legendary Champion, you have to imagine. He really helped me out at the early stages in the game. But I haven't used him in a year or so, besides Faction Wars. Now that you can provoke the head of DK, this guy is maybe one of my favorite Hydra champs, or he became one of my favorite Hydra champs, because he can provoke the head of DK, he can be a mischief target, he can put attack down debuff on the Hydra heads. He always counter attacks with this team setup, so he does a lot of damage. In this case, he got swallowed pretty early. That's why his damage is very low. But if he doesn't get swallowed, he would be like around 10 million damage for sure, or like 9. So pretty close to Royal Guard. And I think this is you shouldn't definitely sleep on this guy. He's pretty strong now. Like, I've built him with around 500 resistance, 300 accuracy, which is enough for brutal. And yeah, he did an amazing job. So then we have Lady Kimi. Lady Kimi is also in some speed gear and one immortal set, because I wanted her to have some self-heal, because other than that I don't have any heals. Oh, we have the heal of Ugo, but it's not very consistent, and yeah, the self-heal just keeps Lady Kimi alive. She has around 340 speed, something like that. And what she does is she basically boosts the whole team with the speed buff and the turn meter increase. She puts a accuracy buff on your team, and she puts a decreased speed, the big version, on the enemy, on the Hydra heads on the enemy team. I really needed her to boost the turn meter of my team, so I can, especially Duchess, so I can get the Veil buff back as soon as possible to not get feared by the Head of Torment. And of course, it's just improving the whole cycle of your team, because you slowed down the Hydra heads and you speed up your own team, so you do more damage, you get the skills back faster, you have more chances to get your champions back if one of your champions gets swallowed. And yeah, that's basically what she does. She kind of controls the speed of the fight. And then you have Royal Guard. Pretty obvious what he does. I've built him in reflex gear with crit damage set. Yeah, I think he's pretty self-explainable. Does a lot of damage. You can also put decreased death or decreased speed on the Hydra heads, and with the accuracy buff from Lady Kimi, it can also land, because I haven't built him with a lot of accuracy. He got like 250, something like that. And then last slot in my Hydra Brutal team was Ugo, of course, because I needed a Death Down champ and block buffs. And yeah, there's only one option, and it's Ugo. So I've built her in Relentless, which is not optimal. I would prefer a reflex set on her, but I was just too lazy to regear her, and it worked fine. So I just kept Ugo the way she was. But I would definitely recommend a reflex set more than a relentless set on Ugo, especially in this case. Maybe in a Shamael team I would prefer relentless. And yeah, so I did 35.6 million damage. A little bit of an overkill, but yeah, it was not an optimal run. As I said already, my Corona got swallowed pretty early, and I couldn't get him back. I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was just very unfortunately. It was very unfortunate, and yeah. But that's how Hydra is. Like, still a lot of RNG involved in here. So yeah, but it worked, and that's all that matters. And what I did on hard, there you see it already. So for hard, I went with a Shamael team. I used Geomancer in lead with a reflex set on it, on Geomancer. I think Geomancer is also very known, and there's not much to say about him. He puts the HP burn on the enemy team, got an AoE A1, and with Shamael he just gets the turns quicker because Shamael cleanses the fear and boosts the turn meter of the lead champion, which is Geomancer in this case. So he puts a lot of HP burns out and does a lot of damage, as you can see. The top damage dealer in this composition. Then as a second damage dealer we got Husk, which I already talked about. I gave him some accuracy with a perception set, and of course in a relentless set. And yeah. So in case Head of Decay spawns after you kill a head, which happens in my case every time, you can provoke him with this guy. I'll put Vargal in there for the attack down, and also the provoke. Also really nice champion. He can also be your mischief target. I've built him with like 500 resistance and 300 accuracy, but you can definitely lower the stats for hard. I think he was built for brutal, for Hydra Brutal, but I just swept him in, and It worked perfectly fine. We got Hugo in a reflex set. Here I would prefer a relentless set. So basically the Hugo I used here, I would use her on Brutal, but yeah, I was just too lazy to regear the champs because for Brutal you need like 300 accuracy. For hard you need less. I think around 250 or something. And yeah, basically I just didn't want to regear the champs, and as you can see it still worked, so everything's fine. We got a dev down and block debuffs from Hugo and a little cleanse, and then we got Mother Cybele. I just built her recently. I've built her with 300 resistance and 250 accuracy. Basically, that's all you need for this. For Hydra Rota, 2 immortal sets for a little bit of self-heal, and a perception set for more accuracy. And what she does is she puts decreased speed on her A1 on the enemy, which is pretty helpful. Also, she can also put a revive on death buff and a death buff on your team if it's placed correctly, like at the right time. You can pretty much revive your champions when you see a death blow coming. You can put the revive and death on your champions and prevent their death, which is pretty amazing. And that's basically what she does. The decreased speed is really helpful, and she has an AoE on her A1, so it will instantly boost Geomancer's turn meter every time you use her A1, and that's pretty much what we want. And then we have on the last spot Shamael, which is there to counter the Head of Torment. So the thing with Shamael is, if you're running a Shamael team and you're killing the Head of Torment, you definitely want to respawn a Head of Torment as soon as possible, because without a Head of Torment, Inquisitor Shamael is kind of useless. He's just filling up a spot and not doing really anything. So I know you don't have the control on the respawns of the heads, but you really want to respawn the head. So that's what boosts this team and makes it so viable. So yeah, these were my 3 teams for this week. I think I'm gonna play around with a new toy for next week, because I've pulled some void shards and I've got a really decent pull, especially for Hydra, and it's this girl. So I was looking for Krisk on the 10x this weekend, but instead I got her, which is not bad at all. So if you look at her skills, she got a decreased speed on her A1, which is amazing. You put the heals on your allies. On the A2, she has a decreased attack for a 100% chance on a 3 turn cooldown. Block buffs for 2 turns, and also she does a debuff spread. She's taking 2 random debuffs from the target and placing them on all enemies, which is basically an AoE decrease attack and block buff debuff spread on the whole, on all of the Hydra heads. So her damage is based on death, which is also pretty nice. I wasn't paying attention to that pretty much, but it's also nice to know. And then we have increased death and increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns, which is also a 3-turn cooldown on her A3. Also really amazing. This will help you with cycling back your skills and survivability. Really nice. And with her awesome passive, which is kind of like the next level Doom Priest, we have a remove 1 random debuff from all allies at the start of each turn, and removes 2 random debuffs instead from allies under continuous heal buffs passive. So this is really like one of the best passives in the game, in my opinion. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about like the fear from Head of Torment. She will pretty much cleanse it all the time. So my plan is to build her very fast with a lot of accuracy and resistance and a lot of speed, so she gets a lot of turns and extra turns and cleanses the debuffs from my team. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I will keep you updated for my next teams on Hydra. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. Thanks for the support. I will definitely make a video about the Trundle cheese on Hydra Nightmare, and I will make a showcase for Tehanarek, also on Hydra. And yeah, stay tuned. And with that being said, see ya later.